It is the goal of this tutorial to aid in the readability and functionality of complex Excel cells by combining an array of stock formulas into a readable and reusable custom formula. I often combine several of Excel's stock functions into a larger, more complex function. For instance, a combination of Excel's stock functions can be used to turn this string of text with spaces and caps into a camel case. While there are many nuances and challenges to creating complex functions, like, for instance, whether your function will be used in a data table or simply in a cell within a sheet, the basic process for naming and reusing a function remains the same. The first thing we're going to take a look at is this cell. Everything after this string of text that states the cell to the left states is a function that gets us the information from the cell 1 to the left. Just like this function is getting the information 1 to the left with a reference to the cell A2. What we're going to do is copy this function and replace this reference to A2 with that function. Press Ctrl H, find A2, replace with that function. Now, it's still doing the same thing, except we're using our custom function to reference this text in our complex camel case function. But as you can see, the function is now very unwieldy and difficult to read. So how can we get around this? What we're going to do is define a name for this group of functions and use that in this formula instead of this group of functions. In order to do that, we're going to, once again, copy this function. We're going to go to the Formulas tab, and in the Defined Names section of the ribbon, select the Define Name dropdown and click Define Name. Now, the name of any function that you're creating will default to whatever was in the cell that was active when you clicked Define Name. So, to make this step a little easier, we can escape out of this, go to the header of the column, which is the name I have chosen for the function. Click on the Define Name dropdown, click Define Name. Now, the name defaults to the name that I have chosen. We want the scope to be workbook. There are two options, either the sheet we're in or the workbook, which is the entire workbook, regardless of the sheet. And we can make a comment here. Gets the information from the cell 1 to the left. Now, this refers to currently the cell that was active when we started to make the name. What we want to do is replace whatever's after the equals with what's in our clipboard, which is the formula. Control V, paste, click OK. Now, if we go to the Name Manager, we see our formula is there. It's got our comment. Scope workbook refers to the function. Now we're going to go back to our camel case function. See the mess there. Press Ctrl H. Now we want to find our long function and replace with our named function. Close that. Now, as you can see, it's cleaned up and we get a better idea of what we're doing. We're getting cell 1 left instead of this long function. The next thing I want to do is make yet another function, only this time we're going to use the Name Manager. I'm going to create a named function for this camel case function. I'm going to copy all of this text, make the cell active that is the name I want, go to the Name Manager, click New. The name is auto-populated. And now we're going to say makes a camel case of a sentence one cell to the left. We're going to paste our formula after the equals sign. And now, there it is. Camel case one left is another function. Close the name manager. Next to this other text, equals camel case one left. And now it's even more readable. Camel case one left turns the text one cell to the left into a camel case string. This is just a simple example, but incorporating this process can help you create more concise and functional spreadsheets, whatever your goal may be.